In 2010, we celebrate the 400th anniversary of Galileo's discovery, by means of a telescope, that the moon is mountainous and that Jupiter is orbited by 4 moons. The world has changed greatly in the past 4 centuries, and many of those changes are attributed to Galileo. For one, by showing that the moon was not a perfectly smooth orb, and by demonstrating that the universe had at least one other center besides the Earth, namely Jupiter, Galileo contributed to the downfall of the Aristotelian, Ptolemaic, and Christian cosmologies, and thus he played no small role in the secularization of the Christian world. This is how I think most of you think of Galileo. In addition, Galileo's scientific discoveries helped to launch the scientific revolution, a movement that has brought untold advantages in knowledge and technology to the human race. Now, while Galileo's contribution to religion and science are widely recognized, his most important, fundamental, and I would argue far-reaching impact on our world is barely acknowledged. So what I want to talk to you today about is Galileo the philosopher. As one of the first scientific thinkers, Galileo paved the way for the victory of scientific thinking that stamps the way we think in our world today. And it is the dangers of this scientific thinking for humanity that is the topic of my talk. So here's my thesis. The scientific way of thinking, inaugurated by Galileo in the 17th century, is, in the first decades of the 21st century, forcing us to ask a question that the scientific approach to the world has harbored all along. Is humanity important? How we humans answer this question will have a greater impact on our world than any scientific, technological, economic, or artistic innovation that we may witness or experience. For one thing, in an age of nuclear and biological weapons, we, or some few of us, may well choose to extinguish humanity. Or, in an age of automation where robots and machines are able to perform most economically necessary tasks, those in power may decide that it is better to euthanize the masses of superfluous persons for either economic or environmental reasons, or both. Although nuclear Armageddon is one button away, and Sun Microsystems Chairman Bill Joy has publicly raised the possibility of culling the superfluous for environmental and economic reasons, it is far more likely that we as a species will ignore this question. I fear, however, that the refusal to confront the question of humanity's worth will lead to very nearly, not the same, but very nearly the same effect as an affirmative decision of humanicide. In other words, we are now threatened with the possibility that the kindling of the human spark will dampen so that the darkness of the world will be interrupted only with the most fleeting fires of the human spirit. So I'm going to begin in part 1, Galileo's telescope. Let's begin at the beginning of the scientific revolution with Galileo's telescope. The technology behind the telescope had been actually around for a couple hundred years, since the 15th century. And early telescopes were made by craftsmen in England and Holland in the late 16th century. In 1609, 2 separate Dutchmen independently applied for patents for a device that allowed one to see faraway objects as though they were nearby. Their patent applications were turned down because it was thought to be too obvious and simple a device. It is not the telescope itself that ushered in the scientific era, but what Galileo did with it. Galileo constructed an instrument that allowed him, in his own words, to, quote, deliver the secrets of the universe to the human mind with the certainty of sense perception. The point Galileo emphasizes is that whatever the Church or the Aristotelians or any other speculators might say about the universe, the telescope permits us to see the truth with the certainty of our senses. The certainty of our senses. In the ancient philosophical debate between the idealists and the empiricists, Galileo is thought to have given the victory to the empiricists. Against those who might argue for the truth of an idea over reality, study, aided by technological innovation, could establish a real truth. The truth about truth, however, is rarely so simple. In the very same event through which Galileo brought the universe to our senses, he simultaneously revealed the inadequacy of our senses to reveal reality. What the telescope showed is not just that the moon had light and dark spots indicative of mountains and shadows, but also that the world as it is revealed to human beings through their five senses was a world of deception. The lesson of Galileo's telescope is thus twofold. First, we can extend our sensory knowledge to objects that previously were dark and subject to the most baseless speculations. But second, our senses are not to be believed. It is this second lesson, so basic to scientific ways of thinking, that is often ignored by scientists and laypersons alike. What science teaches us is that our senses lie, and that the truth, wherever it lies, is not sensible. Recall that what Galileo saw through his telescope was not the mountains on the moon. His telescope was not powerful enough for that. He saw dark and light patches that bled into each other on the margins. From this, he hypothesized that the border between light and dark was formed by shadows cast by mountains, blocking the sun's illumination. Seeing light and dark areas and tracing their movement over time, he calculated, using relative distance measured in his telescope, that the moon boasted mountains nearly 4 miles high, 4 times higher than any known existing mountain on the Earth. He did so without ever seeing the mountains. Around the planet Jupiter, Galileo never saw moons orbiting. He could not observe for long enough or carefully enough to see such a thing. He saw various different formations of what he first took to be stars that surprisingly moved with Jupiter through the sky over the course of 2 weeks, and just as surprisingly changed their location. Again, assuming the validity of certain mathematical constants applied, Galileo was able to calculate elliptical orbits that explain the behaviors of Jupiter's stars. The truth of Galileo's determinations about mountains on the moon and the stars of Jupiter did not proceed from sense perception, but from calculation. The point I'm trying to remind you of is that scientific truth is not grounded upon the truth of sense perception. You and I look at the wooden floor here and say, it's solid. The scientist knows it is filled with molecules and atoms and electrons and empty spaces. Does the scientist know this because she sees it? Certainly not. Even if a scientist puts the wood under an electron microscope, she knows full well that her senses may deceive her. While observations can help to confirm scientific hypotheses, sense perception is neither necessary nor determinative as a proof for scientific truths. What characterizes scientific truths is not that they are visible, palatable, or audible, but that they conform to hypothetical, predictable, and calculable models that we have about the way the world works. Now, for Hannah Arendt, what is decisive about modern science is the fact that mathematical symbols and calculation surpasses sense data as the arbiter of truth. This is a revolution, which is why we call it the scientific revolution, not because it produced all the technology. That too, but also in this sense. The impact of Galileo's telescope was to confirm our worst fear, says Arendt, that our senses might betray us. While the senses have long been known to be unreliable, Galileo demonstrated that fact and also offered a solution. From henceforth, our human senses were to be subject to the truth of our cognitions, that is, to a nonsensical, mathematical, universal, and unearthly standard. To understand the importance of the change that science brings to our being in the world, I'd like you to consider with me the Hudson River. I hope some of you have the opportunity to walk over and think alongside the river, contemplate its course, and read on its banks. But what is the Hudson River? Well, Google tells me it is a 350 315-mile, 507-kilometer river, neither of which I really understand, that flows from north to south through eastern New York. But what is a river? Can we experience the Hudson River as a river, a powerful, living, natural body of water? No. The Hudson has long since ceased to be a river, as has, by the way, every other river. It is today a waterway of commerce, or it is a garbage dump for PCBs, or an environmental disaster, or an environmental reclamation project. We can make it safe for fish or swimming, or we can choose to leave it polluted. We can, if we want, divert its course, dam it, turn it into a lake, or even get rid of it entirely. Even to the extent we were to restore it to its pristine nature, free of all technology. We are the ones who would do so. And that is the point. The Hudson is today a human creation. Even to the extent we decide to let it be. To look at the river today is to look at something we create. It is to look in the mirror. And the Hudson is here to stand in for every single being in a scientific world. Whether it is a river, a house, an island, the earth, or a human being. All beings today are potentially human creations. Man, as the being capable of calculating in accord with a mathematical and universal calculus, is the one being who can manipulate, master, destroy, and create all beings, even man himself. As Arendt writes, the scientist places nature under the conditions of his own mind. That is, under conditions won from a universal astrophysical viewpoint, a cosmic standpoint outside of nature itself. This cosmic standpoint outside of nature is that of pure mathematics, which is why Arendt concludes that arithmetic and calculus, quote, become the leading sciences of our age. Part 2 is titled simply Despair. One paradox of this scientific approach to the world is that it simultaneously elevates man to the status of a mini-god who can remake the world, and diminishes man. From the perspective of science, the earth and the humans who live upon it have no special place in the universe. By transforming the very idea of truth from a human-centered idea, the sun moves across the sky, to a cosmic standpoint. Actually, today we don't even know whether the sun revolves around the earth or the earth revolves around the sun, or both from a cosmic point of view. Galileo and the modern scientists contributed both to mankind's prideful faith in its ability to unlock the secrets of the universe, and also to our most profound despair. The despair that inheres in the scientific way of thinking diminishes mankind. For the biologist, who understand man as simply one particular kind of organism. For the Darwinist, who denies that man is either the highest or the final stage of biological evolution. For the chemist, who understands human free will to be simply a series of electrochemically determined reactions. For the physicist, who understands the entirety of the universe as the lawful unfolding of physical laws. For the political scientist, who imagines that politics follows the rational choices of interested actors. For the economist, who imagines that the inexorable laws of supply and demand trump basic human needs. In all of these sciences, we are confronted by the meaninglessness and unimportance of human life within the grand scheme of the physical and moral universe. The despair of scientific humanity is also present in the physics of Werner Heisenberg and Niels Bohr, in which causality and even the lawful appearance of the physical universe are simply categories of our necessarily prejudiced human conceptual frame. The entirety of the world as we know it, in other words, is simply a prejudice of our human perception. And the despair of scientific humanity is most recently showing itself in the idea of the singularity. As Ray Kurzweil has been arguing, some of you may have heard of him, it may be that human beings exist simply to invent computation that will allow us in the very near future to overcome our human and limited brains and merge with machine intelligences in a ways that will lead to the determination of a singular cosmic intelligence that will govern the universe in harmony and peace. That Kurzweil, along with Sergey Brin and Larry Page, the founders of Google, welcome singularity with optimism, and they all are part of the Singularity University, should not change the fact that we are indeed talking about the technological extinction of the human race. Or does it? Kurzweil argues that humanity will continue to exist in the hybrid man-machine cosmological singularity. Because the essential character of humanity is, Kurzweil argues, that humans inherently, quote, seek to extend their physical and mental reach beyond our current limitations. As we merge with machines and with the cosmos, he argues our civilization will, quote, be more exemplary of what we regard as human than it is today, although our understanding of the term will move beyond its biological origins. We will be more human even though we will not be biological. It is difficult for us mere humans to know what we will be in the coming decades, but Kurzweil is hopeful that we will continue to expand our intelligence, our dreams, and our desire to improve the world. Is such a world as Kurzweil and other scientists imagine it today still human? That depends on what we mean by human. And the inquiry into what humanity is cannot be a scientific question. So to ask this question, I want to look at one of the greatest attempts to answer it, namely Hannah Arendt's book, The Human Condition. Now, I hope you all have the handout that was provided to you. And on it are two paragraphs from the prologue to the Human Condition, which even if you don't have the handout, I assume you've read. And these are two, I think, of the richest paragraphs in the history of the English language. And they're worth considering closely, so we shall do so. I read, "The earth is the very quintessence of the human condition." Stop right there. What can she mean? What is the earth? And what is the earth as the quintessence of the human condition? What is man? Both questions are asked, and we need to understand what she means. So let's continue. The earth is the very quintessence of the human condition, and earthly nature, for all we know, may be unique in the universe in providing human beings with a habitat in which they can move and breathe without effort and artifice. So Hannah Arendt seems to be telling us that the earth is a natural environment. It's oxygen-rich, it has an atmosphere, it has an abundance of water, a temperate climate, and this allows humans to live without artifice, naturally. And suddenly we're going to say, oh, she's romantic, right? She's nostalgic for the good old days when it was just nature. But then, we turn to the next sentence. The human artifice of the world separates human existence from all mere animal environment. Okay, stop. This seems to contradict what you just said. To be human is not to be natural. To be human is to be artificial. Simply to live naturally as do plants and animals does not constitute human life. It's only by building houses and erecting dams, by telling stories and building political communities, that we create a human world as opposed to an animal world. So we continue. The human artifice of the world separates human existence from all mere animal environment, but life itself is outside this artificial world. And through life, man remains related to all other living organisms. So now we're confronted with a paradox at the heart of Arendt's thinking, all her thinking, by the way, in every single one of her books. On the one hand, human beings are artificers and only live in an artificial world. Anyone who calls Arendt a Luddite is mistaken. She fundamentally believes that human beings cannot live as humans without artifice, technology, science, etc. On the other hand, aspect of life, of humanity, that cannot be artificial. Life. We now face a riddle. If Arendt so values human creative power, why does she mark life off, the brute simplicity of the earth, of natural and non-artificial life, as necessary, as the quintessence of the human condition? Now the answer is that Arendt embraces an ancient understanding of man as the one unique being in the world that is both created and creating, both unfree and free. To give you a preview of Wednesday's talk by David Ellis. Over 2 millennia ago, Sophocles in his Ode to Man named man Daemon, a Greek word that connotes both greatness and horror, or wonder, meaning both greatness and horror. That man is so extraordinary as to be at once terrifying and beautiful. As an inventor and maker of his world, this wonder that is man terrifyingly carries the seeds of his destruction. As he invents and comes to control his world, he threatens to extinguish the mystery of his existence, that part of man which man himself does not control. As the chorus sings in the Ode to Man, Pantos poros aporos, always overcoming all ways. So man overcoming all ways, building, artificing the world, and going over all the ways of the world, he loses his way and comes to nothing. Well, if we so artificially make and construct the world so that we even construct ourselves, we're no longer man. If man so tames the earth as to free himself from uncertainty, then what is left of a human being? Now, Sophocles could ask this question in the confidence that it would always remain a question. And Kant similarly says that man is a rational being, one who is both rational and thus creating, but also a being, created. From Sophocles to Kant, as great as our technical powers might be, our power had limits, so that our lives remain subject to a fate beyond our control and comprehension. That is what the Greeks meant by mortality, and what separated humans from the gods. Our human finitude, our mortality, and the impenetrable mystery of being, these are the attributes of humanity that Arendt names our earthly nature.